Hello, my name is Emma. I was working with Dr. Greg Rowengold through the University of Vermont Transportation Research Center, asking the question, do active travel projects get a fair evaluation in the long-range regional transportation planning process in the United States? So to start, we were looking at kind of just active travel and modeling in general. These travel demand models are initially developed for congestion management as an analysis tool, meaning that active travel projects are more of an afterthought in the consideration within these models, which left us with some questions. First, is active travel considered as robustly as vehicular travel in these models? And are these models focusing on the right reasons people do or don't choose to use active travel? With this, we look specifically at safety, both perceived and actual safety, as well as distance, as those are some of the most common factors people choose or use to decide if they're going to take an active travel mode. And then finally, can these models create accurate estimates for active travel projects if they aren't considering these things as to why people do or do not use these modes? Because if you can't fully represent the active transportation impacts, you can't fully show the potential greenhouse gas reduction effects if these were to be implemented. So to do this, we reviewed the long-range regional transportation plans and travel demand model documentation for 60 MPOs around the country, randomly selected by size and region. We looked specifically at the model type used, the active travel presence and factors within the model, and the VMT and greenhouse gas emission metrics that are produced by these models. And then we finally compared with active travel infrastructure presence in the regions, and then just analyzed the best practices and highlighted some faults within these practices. So what we found for the methods used in the modeling processes, 37% of the MPOs we looked at don't use a model at all or don't model different modes of travel. They just kind of only look at the vehicular modes. And we found that less than half at 47% of our MPOs modeled active travel modes, but only 35% of these considered walking and biking as separate modes. And they are two distinct modes of travel with different speeds and all sorts of different things there too. So that was fairly concerning. And then we also looked at those key factors that I mentioned before, and we found that only 4% of these models considered all three of these key factors. So they considered actual safety, perceived safety, and distance. And then we found that 16% of them calculated distance on an active travel infrastructure route. And there was only one model out of the ones we analyzed that both separated walk and bike modes, as well as considering distance on those active travel routes and considering actual and perceived safety. And that is all. If you have questions, come see me at the poster.